Hi, we're going to continue our study of the graphs of functions, but in this section we're going to look at transforming those functions by shifting, reflecting, and stretching. So we're going to talk about rigid transformations, those transformations that keep the original shape intact but we just move it around, and then also non-rigid transformations are ones that actually change the shape slightly. So specifically we're going to talk about some basic or parent functions that you need to know, vertical and horizontal shifts, and reflecting graphs. Those are the rigid transformations. Stretching and shrinking graphs are non-rigid transformations, and then we're going to talk about performing a combination of transformations. Now, I've set this section in my notes up a little bit differently because I had so much material from college algebra and it's a lot of overlap except for one thing, and I'm going to tell you that in just a minute. So for the basic functions, you'll find the link for that. It's just a PDF file that has the 6 basic functions that you need to be familiar with, like the identity function, the squaring, the cubing, the cube root, the square root, absolute value. The vertical and horizontal shifting, I had a video with that for college algebra, and so I've linked you to my notes and video from that material because honestly it hasn't changed at all. Reflecting graphs and stretching and shrinking graphs, I had videos on that as well, and so I've kind of combined those, and then you'll see links for the videos on those separate topics. Performing combination of transformations, I'm going to make a new video for you on that because in this particular course our focus differs a little bit, and let me explain. The college has decided different standards that should be implemented for college algebra and pre-calculus on these topics, and let me just review those with you, and hopefully if you've had college algebra this will kind of make some sense to you. In college algebra you should have been able to perform vertical and horizontal shifts, vertical stretches and compressions, and x and y axis reflections on given functions. You should have been able to do up to 3 transformations, not ones that had 2 of the inside changes combined with it. You should also be able to look at a function rule such as f of x equals 3 times x plus 1 squared minus 5 and verbally describe the changes that have been made. Hopefully you know this, but like the 3 does a vertical stretch, the inside change x plus 1 does a shifting to the left, and the minus 5 does a shifting down. So those are the types of things that you should have encountered in Math 1111. Well, in this course we're going to carry those topics a little bit further, and so we're going to build on your previous work, and in this section or course you should be able to perform horizontal stretches and compressions, and we're going to do those early because when we get to the trig topics that's going to be a pretty popular thing that happens there. And combinations of no less than 3 and 4 transformations should be explored, especially those that combine horizontal shifting with reflections or horizontal stretches and compressions, and ones that also have 2 inside changes. In addition to being given specific functions, you should be required to use abstract function notation such as f of negative x plus 3 minus 5 or 3 times f of 2x minus 6, and look at the graph of a standard function that's been transformed, write that formula down for the function. So in the video that I make for you on combinations of functions, I'll go into a lot of these examples in detail so that you can see the types of things that you would be expected to know in this course. Okay, so we'll get to it. Thanks.